Chelsea continued to hone their preparations ahead of the first leg of their UEFA Conference League last 16 tie against Copenhagen. Enzo Maresca's side have been through an intensive training session at Cobham, with full focus on their return to European competition after a 2.5-month absence. Trovo Chalobah, Mathis Amugu and Cole Palmer have all been named in Chelsea's squad for the knockout stages since the win over Shamrock Rovers in December. Palmer is not making his European debut, having previously featured in the playoff against Servette. Christopher Nkunku, who scored in that game, looked in good spirits in training. The French striker is looking to add to his Conference League tally and build on his momentum after scoring the opener against Southampton. Maresca stressed that the team must take each game for granted without thinking too far ahead. Despite many tipping Chelsea to be title contenders, the coach prefers to remain realistic. Chelsea will travel to Denmark with a mission to get a positive result, while maintaining focus on their short-term goal, progressing to the quarterfinals. Chelsea have an injury problem ahead of their crucial UEFA Conference League last 16 clash with FC Copenhagen. Several key players are still out, while others are recovering. Here are the latest updates. Defensive injuries. Trevoh Chalobah, doubtful. Back injury, likely to undergo pre-match fitness test. Estimated return, March 6, 2025. Benoit Badiashile out. Still recovering from a thigh injury. Expected to return against Leicester. March 9, 2025. Wesley Fofana, back in training. Back in training, but still a doubt for Denmark. March 9, 2025. Midfield and attack injuries. Romeo Lavia out. Has not played much since joining due to a series of injuries. April 2nd, 2025. Noni Madueke out. A hamstring injury has kept him out for a while. April 2nd, 2025. Nicholas Jackson out. Chelsea's main striker is still out with a thigh injury and will only be back after the international break. April 2nd, 2025. Marc Guiu out. The young Spanish striker is also out with a thigh injury and will only be back next month. April 2nd, 2025. With so many players injured, Enzo Maresca will have to think hard about his strategy against Copenhagen. Chelsea have received good news ahead of their clash with Arsenal on March 16th. Previously doubtful Wesley Fofana is back earlier than expected. The French defender was on the bench for Chelsea's 4-0 win over Southampton. Initially, Fofana was predicted to be out for 5 weeks after suffering an injury on December 1st. However, Enzo Maresca had suggested he could be out for the entire season, before finally revising his prognosis. 2 weeks ago, Maresca said Fofana would need at least 2 to 3 weeks before he was ready to play. However, in reality, he has returned earlier. If the recovery process goes smoothly, Fofana could possibly start at the Emirates Stadium. However, Chelsea are still missing several key players such as Nicholas Jackson, Marc Guiu, Noni Madueke, Romeo Lavia, and Mykhailo Mudryk, who are suspended. Fofana's return is certainly a big boost for the Blues in their efforts to secure points in the crucial match against Arsenal. Chelsea are reportedly in the hunt for Bologna's shining Serie A centre-back Sam Bucama. Reports from Italy claim that the Blues sent scouts to watch the 26-year-old in Bologna's 2-1 win over AC Milan. Bucama, who joined from AZ Alkmaar in 2023, has been solid this season and has attracted interest from a number of top European clubs. Liverpool, Juventus and Atletico Madrid are also said to be interested, while Arne Slot has previously expressed his desire to bring Bucama to Feyenoord. Chelsea are also looking for additional centre-backs, with Benoit Badiashile, Trevoh Chalobah and Tosin Adarabioyo all facing uncertain futures. Meanwhile, Wesley Fofana is still recovering from a long-term injury. With Chelsea in need of a new defender and stiff competition from other clubs, will the Blues be able to win the race for Bucama? Chelsea have been handed a boost ahead of their UEFA Conference League last 16 first leg clash with FC Copenhagen. Trevoh Chalobah is reportedly in contention to return after missing the injury he sustained in last month's defeat to Aston Villa. Chalobah, who was on loan at Crystal Palace, was recalled to Stamford Bridge in January and was a mainstay for Enzo Maresca before suffering the injury. Now, reports suggest Chelsea are optimistic about including him in the squad for the match in Denmark. Cole Palmer is also in contention to make his first appearance in the competition after being included in the knockout phase squad. New signing Mathis Amugu could also get some game time as well. Meanwhile, Wesley Fofana, who has returned from injury, remains unregistered in the Conference League. Maresca has confirmed that the French defender will only play 1 game per week to avoid a recurrence of the injury. Chelsea are still without Nicolas Jackson, Romeo Lavia, Noni Madueke and Marc Guiu, but they could return after the international break. Meanwhile, Benoit Badiashile is reportedly back in full training and could be available soon. Can Chalobah make an immediate impact for Chelsea? Joao Felix looks set to return to Chelsea this summer after AC Milan dropped their interest in signing him permanently. Milan had initially considered buying Felix after his loan spell from Chelsea, but the situation has changed in recent weeks. According to Fabrizio Romano, Milan will undergo a lot of changes in the summer, so keeping Felix will be a difficult decision. This is not about finances, but more about the player's adaptation and performance, which is considered to be not satisfactory enough in his first 40 days with the Rossoneri. Chelsea signed Joao Felix in the summer of 2024 for £43 million, but he failed to establish himself as a regular under Enzo Maresca. In 20 appearances, Felix was mostly on the bench, losing out to other players in the Blues squad. Now, with the certainty that Milan will not continue the partnership, Chelsea must decide whether they will give him a second chance or sell him to fund new player transfers. Moreover, there is a possibility that Christopher Nkunku will also be released, which could open up more playing opportunities for Felix. However, with Chelsea continuing to look for other options in attack, Felix's future at Stamford Bridge remains uncertain. Does he still have a place in Maresca's team, or will he leave again in the summer? Chelsea and Arsenal are in the running to sign River Plate's talented young winger, Ian Subiabre. The 18-year-old has caught the eye after impressing at the South American U20 Championship, scoring 3 goals for Argentina. According to Caught Offside, Chelsea and Arsenal have held talks with Subiabre's representatives, but no formal offers have been made. The player is valued at around £24 million, with River Plate willing to let him go if that figure is met. Chelsea see Subiabre as part of a strategy to recruit young South American talent. Following in the footsteps of André Santos, Estevao Willian, Kendry Paez, and David Washington, Arsenal, meanwhile, are keen to strengthen their wingers with a player who could be a long-term asset. In addition to Chelsea and Arsenal, the likes of Benfica, Aston Villa, Villarreal and West Ham are also interested in signing Subiabre. Chelsea will have to act quickly if they don't want to lose their talented youngster to a rival club.